all gonna make it, boys.
If you keep getting sick, then you have AIDS. I think I'm self-diagnosing. Yeah, there's something other than just a tool I'm going to need to put in your mouth while you're right.
I walk toward bullet. What if we did get rid of all guns?
Yeah.
Let's stand in a field and die.
It wasn't a true assault rifle.
It was an assault rifle.
It was an assaulting rifle.
It was an assaulting
Attempting
rifle.
to assault.
Too bad she didn't have a bump stock.
The turtle's trying to sue. What's that guy's name? He looks like a fucking turtle.
I mean, there's a lot of people I can think about that look like a turtle.
That fucking old guy. The really old politician, Democrat, not Biden.
Oh, you're talking about...
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell is starting to throw shade at fucking Tucker Carlson, right?
Dude, listen,
because what was this in thing?
That guy shits his pants, okay? Listen, I'm going to state this for the record, for the internet record.
For the record.
For the record.
For the record.
If you're in politics, first, kill yourself. But second, no, I'm just kidding. If you're in politics and you can't control your bowel movements, you have no right being in politics.
There's got to be an age max. There's an age min.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
I met a lot of smart fucking 30-year-olds. You know what I mean? But you can't be president until you're 35, I think. So. I
think the age gap, maybe.
Yeah.
35 to 55. That's it.
Yeah. Or even 65. Even 65.
Maybe.
I'm okay with 65.
What about 60?
Whatever.
I think 60 is a good spot.
60 is a juicy little treat. Yeah.
I just watched a video of Mitch McConnell literally last night. Motherfucker was getting asked a question about running for re-election in 2026.
Yeah.
So this was last year because the reporter was like, in 3 short years, you're going to be running again. So last year, and he was like, what do you think about running? He goes, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. So the reporter asks again, louder, and he goes, one more time. Which, okay, he's old. I don't hold that against him. People are hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing, right?
He said, what do you think about running? And
yes.
Then,
So
did he say, I prefer to jog?
No, and then he goes like this.
Okay.
He goes...
He doesn't. He doesn't even say anything.
He just kind of stares off.
Jesus.
And then
Did his handlers come get him?
His handler comes in and goes, Senator, did you hear the question? That you wondering what you're thinking about re-election in next re-election? He goes, yes.
Jesus, dude, he's just like stroking out.
Dude, like straight up stroking out.
Wow, right. Making laws, huh?
Both handlers come in and they go, we're gonna need a minute. Thank you all for coming. And I'm just like,
yeah, it is time. It is at that point. It's time. I'm not, dude. I'm not talking shit.
Go out to pasture, brother.
The shit. Yeah,
you did your time.
Retire.
Just get out of there.
Did a great job for the wrong party, but it's cool. You know, like you fucking went out there.
Great job for the wrong.
You fucking went out there and did the best you could do with what you had, and your time is up. You know, I mean, frankly, you know, if it's anybody on the opposing side, if you want to call it that. Because I don't even know if I'm fucking Republican anymore.
Dude,
seriously, I think that we've got, you can have them. Go ahead, keep them.
Yeah, keep them.
If we got all these guys that are senile running for office, then we have every opportunity to win. And if we can't, then we got a fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there was no standards in the NFL and, do you think that one team would petition the other team for be like, you're not allowed to, put 85-year-old quarterbacks on your team? Of course that team's going to be like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and put 85-year-old quarterbacks on that team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and linebackers and no age limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You guys can
put the oldest,
wheel them on. Yeah, they would want you
weakest
to be the
people.
oldest, weakest people in that motherfucker. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we put all of the jacked up, roided out meatheads that we can on our team.
That's right. That's right. God damn, fucking seek on a stick. I apologize in advance for, I'm going to be coughing.
I don't accept.
Periodically through this. You are sitting close enough to me to get infected with that which may be HIV. I'm sure I've got AIDS because I've been sick.
Positive?
HIV positive. I've been sick for like a month and I can't get rid of it.
Thanks, SHOT Show.
Dude, since SHOT Show got me sick and I can't get rid of it. And I'm pretty sure I have fucking AIDS because aren't you supposed to not be sick anymore after a few like weeks at least.
Yeah, dude.
And if you keep getting sick, then you have AIDS. I think I'm self-diagnosing.
You're self-diagnosing AIDS.
I've definitely got.
I've had zero sexual contact, but it's AIDS.
But it's for sure fucking
I know
AIDS,
it's AIDS,
dude. I know.
Did
it
you play
is.
any slots?
I can't zero.
Well,
I
then
did not.
AIDS.
I did not gamble $1 while I was there. Yeah, because I'm the kind of guy that's that's why I don't drink anymore or do anything because I can't like kind of do something and I don't moderate.
Yeah.
I either, dude, you know me, like you've been to the range with
work
me.
with
I'm
you.
like,
I understand.
Yeah, I'm either like, sixth gear or I'm full stop.
Yeah.
Like I don't operate anywhere in between. And it's the same with gambling or, fucking anything. Like I can pick something up and if I like it, it's over. That's why I don't play video games. I don't play video games, not because I don't like it. I'm jealous of people that do like it. They can actually manage their normal life. Dude, I was not showing up for fucking PT, going to sick call, pretending like I was fucking sick while I was in the military for Metal Gear Solid. Like I was so addicted to the fucking game that I was like, I'm just not going to show up to formation this morning because I'm going to pretend I got a toothache. I went and got a fucking root canal. You know what I mean? Like I got my wisdom tooth pulled is what it was. Because I knew if I can get a wisdom tooth pulled, I get 3 days of quarters.
Yeah.
So I went and got a wisdom tooth pulled. I got 3 days of fucking quarters. And then I was like, oh my God, I got so much Metal Gear in. And then
Snake Eater!
But then they gave me perks. So then I got addicted to Percocets.
God.
And so then I went and said I lost my script at like the post movie theater or whatever. I was like, oh, I must have left them at the movie theater. So they gave me another script. And so I burned through those and I couldn't get any more because I tried to say I lost them again. They were like, nah. And so
they count on.
But I was like addicted at this point. So I went and got another tooth pulled. I was like, this wisdom tooth pull, it needs to be pulled just so I can get more perks. I just kept getting teeth yanked out of my face so I get more fucking perks. And like, that's why I just
You're
gotta
like,
be.
these are all veneers.
That's why I gotta just be completely sober. I can't fuck around with stuff like that. The crazy thing is like, it's going and getting a tooth pulled from a normal dentist is like one thing, but getting it pulled from an army dentist is another thing. The guy that was pulling my teeth was a colonel. Like they're in the army, right? These are army officers, and it was a very painful process. He was like, well, your tooth is impacted, so I'm gonna have to drill into it and then break little pieces off. So he
and
drills.
This is back in like 01, right?
Yeah, this is like an 03, 04. Yeah. And so he goes, your tooth's impacted. And so you got 03, 04 technology with, well, really, you've got probably like 1978, 79 technology in an 03, 04 army.
Yeah.
With a 70-year-old colonel who didn't give a fuck how you feel, Yeah, I've been to Nam and back, been yanking teeth since your fucking, sperm was in the womb. And I don't know. Yeah, so I'm in there and he's drilling my teeth and breaking chunks off. I could feel it. And I wasn't numbed up enough and it really fucking hurt, dude. And I was like, hey, sir, it fucking hurt. Shut the fuck up, And so it was like, okay. So I get out and I actually did have to get the one wisdom tooth that I had left pulled. And so I went to this dentist in Folsom and I was like, I sat in the chair and he was like, oh, all right, you had your other wisdom teeth out? And I was like, yeah, I fucking had these wisdom teeth out, man. It's from this fucking army dentist. Fucking, I don't know where they train these guys. I'm pretty sure he got his fucking dental credentials in this fucking Cracker Jack box. They're all ate the fuck up. I don't know why they make people in the army doctors. They're incompetent like everybody else in the fucking military.
About to fucking tell me that the homeboy was a military doctor.
Yes. And he was like, huh, well, I was an army doctor. And I was like, God damn it.
Fucking run in your mouth again,
right before he fucking hops in my mouth, He's like, I'm going to have to fully knock you out for this one. Yeah, there's something other than just a tool I'm going to need to put in your mouth while you're asleep.
Plenty in your mouth. Speaking of Metal Gear, you'll like this. Give me a call. Give me a call real quick, dude.
Yeah, call?
You'll appreciate this.
Call Big Daddy. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I changed it. Hold on. Call Nolan Meeks.
Oh.
I changed it back. My wife didn't like that.
Calling Nolan Meeks.
I'm a little offended, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 That is the...
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yeah, but you even used that sound in one of your videos. I think it was like when you hit the dude over the head with the
to.
flop.
Yeah.
It was that...
Metal Gear Solid.
Shing. Yeah.
Shing. Shing.
Yep. You got to stay away from the cameras and stuff. Anyway,
Welcome.
all that. Welcome to the 2A Procast.
Everybody.
Now that we've babbled for 20 minutes prior to starting.
Tower of Babel.
Yeah, the Tower of Babel. Welcome to the 2A Procast. Today we're going to be covering some news, and it is good to finally be back with just Nolan and I, and of course, you guys, all of my 2A prophylactics. 2A two-way prophylactics. Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it is a pleasure to be here with you one-on-one, mono e mono. I think all the other podcasts that we've done in the last several weeks and maybe months have been kind of a trio, a menage. Yeah. So
menage a trois.
it's good to be back. If you guys don't know, you haven't seen us in a while on any social media. We don't exist. We've been gone because there's a lot going on around here, man. We're going to fucking yak about it real quick. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start by talking about the things that are happening right now. One is the 2A Pro course that we've been working on heavily, and I have just been pouring my heart and soul into, really trying to fucking get this thing knocked out. And you know what, dude? It is not even close to being done, and I really don't give a shit. I'm just going to open up the floodgates. I'm thinking I'd like to do it like first week of March.
Let's get it done.
I'm just going to open this thing up like first week of March.
I'm all caught up.
If you guys want to get in, you're caught up on your shit. I still got to film some stuff, but it's a course on how to start a business in the Second Amendment and in the Second Amendment category, how to source your products and build your website. We part of the course, we build the site out for you and help you with search engine optimization. We help you sell the products. We help you, build the products out. And it's more of a community. There is a course that is pre-filmed within this ecosystem that you can go through and kind of take those step by steps. But the way that I really want to run it is more of an interactive thing where people can get stuck and ask questions. And that's why we have the whole team here at Tacticon that's going to be able to participate in this, from our graphic designers to our engineers to you for social media to me for marketing. Hizzy shakes his head, hell no. But it's kind of like we built basically a social media platform on this website, and it operates quite like Facebook, but it's on our own server, on our own ecosystem, and it operates like a social media platform, and it's fucking cool.
Could you call it 2A Pro Book?
Ooh, 2A Pro Book indeed. But the courses are baked into there. The forums are in there. You can set up groups like you can in Facebook. There's an activity feed, kind of like a news feed, and you can talk to each other on instant private messaging. And the course includes fucking hosting for your website on our own private server so nobody shuts you down. We give you a website template that's fucking pre-built. And I think I'm fucking dialed in a price. I don't know if I want to say it out loud.
Don't say it.
Don't say it out loud. I can't say it out loud. But the first people in this thing are going to get a screaming deal because I am going to I'm at least going to triple the price at some point in time.
Yeah.
So don't get mad if like 2 months from now you're like, what the fuck? You're supposed to triple the price. Don't get all crazy on me. It may take some time until the course becomes robust enough to be worth that much money. But right now I don't have a ton of content in there. So get in while you can fit in. But it is lifetime, except for the monthly, like $20 a month or $147 a year is I think what I was kind of sitting at to do the hosting and give you a free website and give you access to the 2apro.com site, which is the marketplace where you can sell whatever you want to. It's the Amazon for guns, and I'll stop there. And no shameless plug there. But why we've been so busy also is because we're opening the 2 Alpha Tactical Shop, which is a retail outlet that I would love to franchise and start fucking spreading that seed throughout the entire United States. Because what it is a tactical shop with all the products in it, great prices. It is also a barber shop.
Can I say that when I saw the 2 Alpha, the graphic, I didn't know that you were calling it a tactical shop. Yeah, and that got my juices flowing. I really liked that. I saw it. I was like, tactical shop. That's sick.
Oh, you like it? Yeah, the 2 Alpha Tactical Shop.
Yeah,
nice.
dude.
Right on, dude. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, it's a 2 Alpha Tactical Shop. No FUDs allowed. You can come in there, I suppose, but we're no FUD guns. You know what I mean? It's just going to be tactical equipment, tactical stuff. We're going to be a nods dealer. So we actually made a airsoft range that you could shoot. You could basically put on plate carriers, put on body armor, grab an airsoft rifle, go in the airsoft range inside of the shop, and put on a ballistic helmet and put on your nods, and we can black that range out.
Yep.
And you could shoot optics blacked out inside of a range. Now, again, it's airsoft, but it gives you a feel before you buy it. There's nobody else is doing that, and that's why we thought it would be a little bit different to be able to,
every gun shop that you've gone into where they've got the same guns, same revolvers. Yeah. Well, now you can buy nods, you can buy plate carriers, you can buy plates.
Yeah. And we are wrapping up our firearms right now because we started manufacturing firearms. So our firearms will be available at the launch. So if any of you guys are out in Sacramento or just Northern California in general, maybe you're in Lodi and you wanted to travel a little bit, we are opening. The soft opening is on February 29th.
Soft launch.
Soft launch. February. It's the $229. It's a Thursday and a Friday. That's just to kind of work out the kinks. But the grand opening, where real shit's going on, and where it's free food and free drinks and free products, 50% off everything inside the store. Heavy discounts on rifles. All the rifles are going to be that we're going to be selling come with a rifle bag and a sling, I think is what we're going to do. There's a raffle to win guns, body armor, all sorts of stuff. And all the donations to the raffle are going to go to a local children's, so children with cancer, children with cerebral palsy. There's this company called Sweet Dreams who builds these beautiful rooms for these kids. We're going to be donating everything from the raffle to that nonprofit organization that goes and does that. Dude, it's pretty fucking amazing. And anytime, if any of you guys ever want to come into the shop, you can use the airsoft range. You can get a haircut. There's free haircuts on grand opening. So if you can get in, but free haircuts on that Saturday and Sunday, March 2nd and March 3rd. What else are we doing? Oh, so permanently what we're doing is there's a free whiskey bar limit, 2-drink limit, right? But there's a whiskey bar, a beer in the fridge, cappuccino bar. There's a couch with a 75-inch TV and Call of Duty on a PS5. Yeah. The airsoft range, all sorts of just really cool shit inside that shop. Very interactive. And the coolest part about it is if you're from California, you may not be like this in other states, but when you're in California, the firearms have to be locked up behind a counter.
Fake and gay.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking lame. So that means that an employee has to hand you something that you want to see, and you'll be like, "Oh, can I see that one?
It works, can I see that way most around the world."
Okay. Yeah. So, but what we did was we built this room out to where we just get your ID before you walk into the room, close the door behind you, and you have carte blanche to anything in the fucking room. So all the firing pins will be taken out, so don't get froggy. But yeah, dude, you can go up and grab, touch, finger fuck whatever you want to in there. So yeah, it's cool. So anyway, that's what we've been working on. It's been a hell of a project, but it's about to go down, man. And I am just fucking exhausted. So it's kind of cool to like be a part of, just be on the two-way Procast again, and be here. And you've been working hard, and everybody's been working hard.
Everybody's been working hard.
It's rad. And you're probably wondering what this is.
I have been wondering this entire time.
This is for those of you that aren't watching the video and just listening. This is and the last shameless plug I'll do real quick is if you are interested in the 2A Pro course, in that course and starting a business inside the Second Amendment, whether it's body armor or simply just making t-shirts that are Second Amendment related, or even if it's not Second Amendment related, it fucking applies to everything really.
It's the courses of all courses.
The course of all courses. It's just an e-commerce course, how to build a business online, doing it exactly the way I did and generating, lots of money so you can quit your lame ass job.
To steal what Andy Frisella says, the reason we're saying this is because we sponsor ourselves.
Yeah, the reason why we're saying this, yeah, exactly. We sponsor ourselves. But the course sign up is in the description of this video. You can get down there, sign up, and I will contact you when it releases and do it because the prices will go up. So this is a hat. This is a hat that was given to me by a gentleman. I can only call him a gentleman because his name is Liam. He is part of our Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, get in there. Liam. Link will also be down in the description to the Discord channel. Discord's fucking wild. It's a lot of fun.
I haven't been in there in a while.
No, I was in there for like fucking probably way too long the other day, like 4 hours.
Sick.
Just really getting down.
Good.
Yeah. Just in one of the channels talking about shit that I shouldn't have talked about in that channel, violating all the terms of service that we have in the Discord.
Whatever, we own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ours.
That's what Liam said. I was like, man, I really fucked this channel up. He was like, well, we follow the leader, so that's why we're in here talking to you in here. Anyway, this is a Carbonari hat. Carabinieri. This is a military police.
I love Carbonara.
I love Carbonara. It's Italian military. It's an Italian military hat, Italian military police essentially hat. And the reason why this is so near and dear to my heart, because I will tell you a story of also why I don't drink anymore. I'm just going to put this hat on real quick.
Stolen Valor, dude.
Just enjoy it. Stolen Valor.
Stolen Valor.
I was skiing in this town called Folgaria, and it was a USO ski trip from Post, right? So I was only at my unit for a couple of weeks. I hopped on this bus to go skiing. We get up there, and I took a Camelback with me.
Nice.
Full of Coke and rum.
Of course.
Naturally. And as we got up there, I proceeded to, Folgaria was kind of like a beginner's. There wasn't a lot of like real hardcore runs out at this place. And so I made some for myself, which is really illegal actually in Italy. First of all, it's illegal to ski drunk. And second of all, it's illegal to ski out of bounds. And I was doing both. I was skiing drunk out of bounds. And they yeah, and so they don't really put up with that. So
God, I love America.
I know. So I was skiing out of bounds, and I remember I was going at it pretty hard, and at this point in time, it was later on in the day, and I was pretty intoxicated by this point, and I fell.
Camelback's almost gone.
Camelback's almost gone. I ate shit, and I was laying in the snow, and I was right underneath. I think it was like underneath or near. I was eyesight of a ski lift probably because what I remember seeing people on the ski lift, people yelling like "Tutto posto," like "Are you okay?" And I was laying there all sprawled out like Bugs Bunny in the fucking snow. And eventually, Macumber comes up, my buddy who was looking for me clearly, and he goes, "We got to go, dude. We got to go. Like, people think you're fucking hurt." And he pointed up at the sky, and there was a yellow helicopter with a red cross on it. And he's like, "I think that's for you." Because I had been down there for a while.
Yeah.
I was just laying there. I was
You're
just
just fucked up.
exhausted.
You're like, "Ah."
Somebody thought I was like actually hurt.
Dead.
And so, so they pulled out all the stops for me, and I was just like a fucking private, like a PV2 maybe. At that time, I just got to my unit. And once I got back on the main court, I got out of the out of bounds area. There was an opening in the gate where at the opening of the gate, they had figured out where I was. Probably the helicopter saw where I was and told the carabinieri. They were ski patrol, so they were on skis. They were also on a snowmobile. And when I saw them, they tried to stop me and said, "Hey, you're going to come with us." And I basically said, "Fuck off." And I tried to ski away.
Yeah.
And I skied for like 10 feet. And then the guy knocked me off my skis, took my skis and made me walk down the mountain. And then I get down there and there's a whole bus full of soldiers ready to go home, but they can't leave without me, who's now being detained by the carabinieri because I was skiing out of bounds and I'm fucking wasted and I'm not exactly being nice.
Oh, God.
So I'm in this room like with these guys and they're writing me what I can only think to be a ski UI, because I'm like, what law did I fucking break other than skiing under the influence, and apparently a lot of laws. And so I was resisting arrest or detainment. I was skiing out of bounds. I was fucking, skiing while intoxicated.
But to you, you're just you're a young soldier. No law applies to you, dude.
I was sprightly. Yeah. It's like, I'm an American.
I'm
like,
American.
This is
you
not,
can't write me up.
You can't write me up. These laws don't apply. So they called my unit. They figured out I was a soldier, obviously. They called my unit. They let everybody know. I delay this bus like 4 hours. So we're supposed to leave at like 4:30. It is like 8:30 by the time we leave. So it's like midnight. It's like 3.5 hour bus ride. Everybody fucking hates me because they all had to wait for me. And so by the time we actually get back to the unit, I remember pulling in the front gate and I had, I believe it was Sergeant Powell and Sergeant Brody, and they were fucking standing at the front. It was my platoon sergeant, my squad leader, that were standing like right at the front of the gate waiting for me, arms crossed.
They're pissed.
They were pissed because they got woke up. They were like, "Hey, you got a fucking Joe out here that's fucking breaking the law." And so they're standing there at the front gate, arms crossed. I see them when I come in. I'm like, "God damn it." And so they go out and smoke the shit out of me out on Hoekstra Field, which is right outside like the general's office, and it's super muddy, and rolling me around. I'm throwing up, doing fucking flutter kicks in my puke. And then somewhere along the night, I believe I got sent home, if I remember correctly. This is all kind of a blur. And then, wake up, an hour later for, 6:30, formation or whatever the fuck it was, 6 formation. And then more PT. And then, and then that was 2 weeks in. And then I was put into to ASAP, which is the Army Substance Abuse Program, and given a no drinking order. Like, I wasn't in the Army I was in less than a month, and I was given a note, like, "You're not allowed to drink anymore."
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You fucking would.
Yeah, I know.
You fucking would.
I know.
Dude.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So that was. Anyway, that's the story of this hat. So these guys were not my friends necessarily. They were definitely dudes that I was always ducking and dodging while I was over there and trying to, skirt the Italian laws while I was doing the damn thing. So I figure I owe it to them to wear this hat, and I owe it to Liam, who was a man who produced this hat, who ended up somehow in Italy. Liam's he's an elusive man. I know what he did, over there. He probably doesn't want me to say, so I'm not going to say. But yeah, it's his business, not mine. But he did some pretty high speed stuff, and he somehow was able to get this and worked with these guys in some capacity at certain given times. I think
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't think he was like stationed there. He just has one of these, and I don't know how.
He stole it.
He's kind of like, I don't know.
That's how he fucking stole it.
Fucking probably. Anyway, so that's that. Now you know. But what is the main topic for the 2A Procast on, what's on the agenda?
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I just had a stroke like Mitch McConnell. I was just in the story. There's so many topics.
I was in the
I
story.
was in the story.
I was in the ski UI story.
There's so many topics that we are going to discuss and talk about. Dude, the first thing that I kind of actually want to discuss about that I didn't send to you. So, Starship Troopers. You know the film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah, I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah, for sure. What? Is the U.S. military using this?
No.
Oh.
So, Starship Troopers is possibly one of the greatest films ever made. Easily.
Yeah, with Casper.
Yeah.
Casper.
Did you know? So you probably didn't know, but there's been a game that's come out recently.
Okay.
It's called Helldivers 2, and this is going somewhere. I don't trust you behind me, dude. It's right here. So this game, it's very reminiscent of Starship Troopers. It's that same kind of like ultra militaristic, unified super Earth kind of one world government. They're fighting the bugs and they're fighting robots as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there's been a shitload of Starship Trooper memes because this game came out.
Okay.
Right? It's so similar. There are legitimately bug sympathizers on the internet. One, bug sympathizers, but two, and this is where I feel like you can't make this shit up.
It's not real though, right? And
Dude.
they're just like taking a counter argument. They're just taking some sort of an online stand.
Dude. These people are legitimately comparing the bugs to fucking minorities.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I saw one recently that a person was like, I can't play the game because it feels so uncomfortable because of the colonizing characters, and I have a Palestinian friend.
Oh, God.
Dude, they're straight up comparing.
Jesus Christ.
I saw one that was saying that they were straight up drawing a direct correlation between the militaristic right wing and ethnic minorities that they're comparing the bugs to ethnic minorities. Damn. Dude, blows my mind.
Yeah, it blows my fucking mind. I can't believe. Well, I can believe.
Well, what's the
I can believe. Like
I can
10 years ago, I might have been like, really? No way. But now I'm like, well, of course, yeah.
The craziest thing to me is that these people are drawing that conclusion, right? They're taking Starship Troopers and they're looking at this and they're going, how can I make this racist?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I watched the film.
Let's fuck up a good thing.
I watched the film and I go, haha, funny satire.
Yeah.
Kill the bugs.
Kill bugs, yeah.
Kill bugs. Haha, funny satire on ultra military kind of fascism kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, these people take it a step further.
Yeah, it's the same people that fucking banned Dr. Seuss books.
Same people.
It's the same motherfuckers. It's the same people that are like, we got to fucking figure out, what type of rhetoric inside of these children books is not completely politically correct, and then remove it from history. That's all it is.
Dude.
Same cats.
It's
same shit, different pile. They're just looking for things to like cancel. So they found their thing to cancel.
Bug sympathizers.
Bug sympathizers. Fuck.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I said kill them all.
I said kill them all.
But to kick this off, I think the most prevalent, is that the word?
Prevalent.
Yep.
The greatest one. This is the one. We're not going to make you stick around for the best one. We're just going to give it to you right now.
Yeah.
Because it's just so relevant right now.
Acorn Cop.
The Acorn.
The Acorn Cop.
Now, if you haven't seen the Acorn Cop, we are going to throw it up for you right now.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know. Ah! Oh, I'm hit! What? I'm in the car! I shot through the car! Oh!
So that you can watch, not the whole thing, because you can go watch
the most important part.
Just the most important part, but you can watch the whole thing like at a you'll find it.
I'll link Donut's breakdown in it. It's really good.
It's fantastic, dude. The donut cup, the Acorn Cop is man. I couldn't believe my eyes. And I got a couple things here. So we'll break down like what happens. So he's got a guy in his vehicle.
Yeah. So mind you, there is a person that they have arrested
And searched.
and searched.
Because he's got his gloves on. He's got those little, he's got his his latex gloves
Little
on.
latex.
He's performed the search.
Yeah.
He's put him in his
He's
vehicle.
touched the crevices.
He's got him handcuffed inside of a car that he can't get out of. And then he hears
What he presumes
is a gunshot, which
a suppressed gunshot.
a suppressed gunshot, which did you hear anything in the video? I couldn't hear anything get picked up.
I'm just
I
too
heard,
hard of hearing.
I heard birds tweeting, I think. I heard like tweet, tweet, tweet. You know, how, like the camera like picks things out.
Maybe heard a squirrel.
I heard things and I heard him like walking and I heard things happening, but I never heard the actual acorn drop. I couldn't hear what he heard. Something. Yeah.
Nada.
Yeah. And then he does how many rolls? Like 3?
Two. He does 2 super sweet rolls.
Super sweet, like John
Dude,
Wick.
combat rolls. He's all
Combat rolls.
They're,
Boom,
they're
boom,
so bad. They're
boom.
such bad rolls.
He's rolling.
Rolls it out. Shots fired. Shots fired.
But that wasn't even the best part. The shots fired wasn't the best part. The greatest part was, I'm hit.
Dude, yeah.
I'm hit
I'm
was
hit.
my favorite.
Hit.
I'm hit, and I was like, no shit. He actually thought he was shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I give some devil's advocate to the female officer that was with him.
Yeah.
Cause like all of a sudden she just hears shooting and he's like, oh, I'm hit. And she's like, from fucking where?
Oh yeah. I don't blame
Yeah,
her. I
no.
mean, he's clearly, telling her that there's a guy with a gun. He just got shot. She has no reason to believe otherwise. He sees him shooting or about to shoot into the vehicle, and so she proceeds to do the same. But I think the most concerning part is that neither one hit the target inside the vehicle, which is a good thing because we don't
fantastic.
want somebody
No.
innocent to die.
Imagine being that guy, dude.
He's got to be fucking.
He's just in there. He's
Shitting his
day
pants.
is already shitty, right?
No, it's
He's
getting-
back there. He's cuffed. He's like, God damn it, today fucking sucks.
Yep.
Fucking got caught. Shit. All of a sudden, he's all, fuck.
He's probably thinking, shots fired. Damn, is somebody shooting at these police? And then rounds start coming into the vehicle, and he's
He's all,
yeah.
damn, my lady just started shooting at these guys.
Yeah.
And then bullets start whizzing past him.
Yeah. Well, from what I read, she was the one that got him locked up in the first place, right? So she called the cops. There was a parent restraining order or something like that on him because she had said he stole her car, right? I think that as the story goes, I'd have to verify, but she was the one that initially called the police, basically giving a report saying, hey, he stole my car. He shouldn't be here, restraining order, whatever. And, but man, when she found out, when you look at it from the female cop's body cam footage, that chick was not happy that dude had just got lit up. And I was thinking to myself, like, you got a restraining order against this guy. You're clearly terrified of him. Your fucking worries are over. Like, I'm like, is that too dark?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm like,
'cause,
she was
like-
so concerned. I'd be like, oh man, that's terrible. Stop. Oh God. But I don't have to
gonna-
worry about this guy like coming by and threatening my family anymore.
It's going to
Okay.
get me on a fucking blacklist for sure. But
Okay.
like, dude, I value human life, but I think sometimes we value human life too much.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I wouldn't want him killed. I'm like, fucking kill the guy.
Yeah. Maybe not that guy. Not the
Maybe
guy in the car.
No,
not the
that
guy in the car.
not
I'm
guy,
not saying
the
that.
guy.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against that guy.
Yeah, but we're talking about more of minor attractive persons.
Yeah,
you know.
pedophiles, kill them.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into in a second. Fuck. But anyways, dude, yeah, I can't. I'm baffled. What? So
It was
you found
interesting.
out-
So
you found out about this guy that he.
Yeah, so I was digging a
prior
little bit. So
service?
I was watching his. So he barrel rolled and then he said, "I'm hit."
Do a barrel roll.
And as he's shooting, I noticed like when his hand comes up, he's wearing these KAA bracelet. He's got a KAA bracelet on, and I was like, "Oh!" And immediately I saw the whole internet kind of ripping on this dude. But then I thought somewhere, and I don't know where it came from, but I had a brief moment of clarity that man, this dude probably has PTSD. Thought he legit heard a suppressed gunshot, and he was not in that moment anymore. This dude was somewhere else.
He was in Mogadishu.
This dude was in like another. He wasn't.
He was in Kuwait.
He probably wasn't where he was, and so then I looked up the details, and so he was in the military. I think for God, I think it was like 8 or 11 years. He went to an academy, like a military academy. He was clearly an officer. And then he joined a special forces group, and he operated with a special forces group for that entire decade, including 2 tours to Afghanistan. So the guy had at least 2 combat tours and was with a special forces group, special operations group. So like, you don't just go with a special operations group to combat and typically not see combat. But then in his when he was deposed and they got some more information out of him, they said, well, do you think this had something to do with you maybe having PTSD or, combat tour or, I think they were just trying to, get some sort of a psychological explanation for all this because you weren't shot and you weren't shot at. So why did you think this? And he goes, I don't know. I've never actually been shot, so I didn't know how it feels. And then he said, I've actually never seen combat. And then in the deposition, it was like, but you're with a special operations group and you've been deployed a couple times. How have you never seen combat? And he's just like, I've never seen combat. I don't know. I don't have PTSD. And so one of 2 things is happening here. Either he was like, I don't know enough. I've never seen anybody that was like in a special operations team that did not see combat when they deployed.
Right.
But maybe he was just attached to the group as some sort of support element and just stayed on the fob and never saw I don't know. So that could be true. Or, he clearly had a KA brace. So, he knew like his friend had clearly had been killed in action.
Right.
So he was directly connected with somebody that had been killed in action. So I'm thinking there's got to be something fishy was going on. So what I'm thinking is this.
Here's the theory.
I'm thinking he didn't want to be discharged due to psych reasons, even though that's kind of a no-brainer after you've seen the video.
Yeah.
But he didn't, once you admit to stuff like that, like, it was PTSD, and like they would have discharged him immediately.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think due to the humiliation and the shame that came around it, I think he resigned. But
there's no coming back.
I think he was initially like attempting to kind of hang on to whatever job that he had. And I just think he just kind of lied about his combat experience, basically saying, no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't know though. This is mere speculation. I have no idea. I cannot speak for the guy, but I was just trying to figure it out. Cause I'm like, man, this dude, like really thought he got shot at, but nothing happened. And it seemed like he was in another place. Cause you could hear it in his voice that, he was serious. He seemed like he was in a combat environment. He was
scared.
He was getting cover. He was scared. He was shooting back.
His legs gave out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and so
that's one of the reasons. I'm kind of with you on that. I think he was downplaying it, but one of the reasons why I kind of think that he was just on garrison or at the fob, is because his legs gave out. But when you compare like other dudes who have been in SF or have done gnarly shit that go onto the police force, when bullets start flying, it's like they go T-100 Terminator, dude.
Right, yeah.
They're just like,
right.
I walk toward bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's conditioning.
Right.
Yeah, it's just conditioning.
And
like
he just fucking dropped.
Yeah. Your first indication is always to take cover when you hear a bullet flying. So, but he also said that he had never been around suppressed firearms before. He thought it sounded like a suppressed firearm. And
which
how
is
are you
confusing.
double confusing because how are you attached to a special operations group and have never heard a suppressed firearm? Because
was he just administration?
Dude, I don't know. I didn't think those guys had like a finance division.
They've got to. Everyone has a finance guy.
I don't know.
I've got a finance guy.
I just thought they were, those dudes ate chow where we ate typically. They didn't have their own, like at least where we were. I don't know. So I don't, it's hard to put my finger on it. I'd love to like get the real.
I want to know more.
Love to get the real story. I wish he would.
We should reach out to him.
We should figure out can you tell us from your story? He's got to have so many people. Just tell your story, dude. We won't make fun of you on the show. I promise. You just tell it as an action. Not really.
No.
We'll make fun of you after on another podcast.
I don't think I'd make fun of him. It's a sad situation.
It is sad. Well,
especially because of don't get me wrong, you deserve the ridicule.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I'm not simping for the dude by any means. No,
that guy deserves all of the ridicule.
But I really do want to figure out why. this happened. Like, what put you into that mindset where you legitimately thought you were getting shot at? I mean, you were a veteran of the force for some time. He wasn't a rookie.
Right.
Like, what put you into that zone? I mean, the only thing that makes any sense is a fucking manic episode of PTSD, which I have been in before. I've been in a place where I was like, I don't know where I am. I had to anchor myself on something that I knew was fucking real. You wake up in the middle of the night.
Trip, dude.
It's a weird situation to be in. So if I can, like, looking at it, that's what I think happened. And I think he downplayed it so that he didn't get fucking psyched out. Because if he resigned, there may have been more favorable terms for him.
Right. He still might get something. Because if he's been on the force for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The state of the internet that we're in, he's never escaping that. That's with him forever now.
Yeah.
He's forever known as that guy.
Yeah.
And I've contributed.
Yeah.
I've added to the memes, so I know better.
Yeah. It's not unmemeable. Dude,
No.
that is low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It's just, it's pretty incredible. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that he and you watch him kind of crawl all the way over to the other side of the street onto the sidewalk, and he goes from I'm hit to I'm okay, I just feel funny. And I was like, that's weird. So you feel funny. So you still don't know. Oh, this is the most interesting part. So in the article, it said the police officer thought he was shot.
Right.
Even when he got picked up by the ambulance, he thought he was shot. And it was only until they arrived at the hospital that they had to tell him, you have not been
So
shot.
I was reading that as well.
And I'm like, you made it all the way to the hospital. Maybe it was just a bad report, but I was like, you made it all the way to the hospital. Like, what kind of EMTs did you have inside that vehicle where you had a gunshot wound, technically, and they didn't tell you inside the ambulance that you weren't shot?
No, something so
It's
fishy about
fucking
this, dude.
weird, and all the stories kind of line up that to like he didn't find out that he wasn't shot until they got to the hospital and they got the final report.
That lines
Maybe
up
that
zero with my brain because I know a fair amount of EMTs at this point. Tackett was a
Yeah.
firefighter.
Pretty sure
tells
he
me
would
ab-
know if you.
He tells me about he tells me a lot of stories.
Yeah,
I feel like they would have found out real fucking fast if an officer had been hit.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe he was just so convinced he was still shot that while he was in the ambulance, he was like, "No." They're like, "You're not." And he was like, "Yes, I am." And they're like, "All right, okay, man.
Okay.
You're shot. We'll take care of it at the hospital." Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe
there was just such denial about him.
He's like, ah.
Yeah. And they're like, "Okay, man, you're
freaking
shot.
out.
You're shot. You're
Okay,
good."
bro. As a civilian, I know if you believe you've been shot, once conflict is over, strip,
Yeah.
dig, find where the blood's coming from.
Yeah, that's the thing is all those years in the military and the deployments
Thank you,
and the
Mike.
medical training and the special operations and probably multiple videos watching Fieldcraft Survival with Mike Glover.
I was talking about Grantham, but yes,
No,
also
that's what I'm
Mike
talking.
Glover.
I mean, you know this dude was in it. I mean, barrel rolls like that. You don't not watch Mike Glover and barrel roll like that. So that's
Trying to take away my barrel roll, dude. Just watching that Tacticon.com, dude.
So I just think that with that and then training on the force and how to identify a wound and where it's coming from and where the bleeding's coming from, how do you get that far from point A to point B without really understanding that you're not shot until a doctor tells you that you aren't, or has to write it in the report being like, he's not.
Do you think he still thinks he was shot?
That's a good question.
do you think he's at home? He's like, I was shot.
I think he went home and shot himself.
Who's the?
Not, and I'm not making a suicide joke. I'm saying like he probably went and shot himself. He's like, see, I was shot.
It's like, what was it? AOC who said she was almost dead almost was killed during the January 6th.
I watched that shit. Yeah, because it was like a police officer just walking her out of the way or something like that. He didn't even touch her. I don't think.
Died.
Yeah.
Fucking the Babylon Bee. Do you know about the Babylon Bee?
No.
So it's a completely satirical news outlet.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic.
It's like The Onion.
Yeah,
super fake.
Pretty much.
Okay.
It was like recently released. Thousands of hours of January 6th footage have been released. AOC has died 13. It shows AOC died 1,300 times.
Damn.
Cutting that out. That was nasty.
Yeah, it's brutal. I just started thinking about something as I was adjusting this carabinieri hat.
Was it about carbonara?
I used to sing a song to them when I would come through the gate because they manned the front gate in Italy.
Oh, this is gonna be a fucked up song. I know it.
I would sing. There was this song like back then. I don't know if you remember like papi 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 chulo, right? It was like a I think it was like a Spanish song or like a Mexican song, but they played it all the time in the clubs in Italy, like from 2003 to 07. It was just a very popular song.
Probably I very much enjoy the music.
And we made our own little song that was, when we came in to give our ID, we'd be like, papi, papi, papi chulo, carboneri piace il culo. So, which is, carboneri likes the ass, like something like that. I don't know. I don't know what we were doing. We were intoxicated half the time. But yeah.
Didn't you have a strict
no wonder
order?
they didn't like me, yeah.
Yeah, didn't you have a strict order not to drink?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah, rules are made to be broken.
That's right. That's why they're made.
That's why they're made.
You hear that, guys?
That's why they're
Rules are made to be broken. Should we talk about this little Tony Gonzalez?
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tell us about him.
So those who don't know, Tony Gonzalez is a cuck. I mean, he's a congressman.
Yeah, not the football player.
No. So he is the current opponent of Mr. Brandon Herrera, and he had one of his cronies.
Go on the unsub.
rampage.
Yeah, he went on an unsub podcast and took something out of context and then posted it and delivered it to the fucking local news.
He had his guy write it up in the newspaper.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, Congressman Herrera,
Brandon Herrera, the honorable,
yes, the venerable,
is running for Congress, which we sit around and talk a bunch of shit about. We got to change this and change that. Well,
he's
this
actually fucking doing
motherfucker's actually going out and doing it. So, all right.
But anyways, so
enough.
him, Donut, all those guys, UI, they do a lot for the veteran community.
Yeah,
First
of course.
off,
Yeah.
he's not a veteran, but there's an ongoing joke. You guys can fucking figure it out. It's not my place. But he made a joke on the Unsub podcast about a joke he was going to make that he ran by his buddies when he was speaking at a veteran suicide panel.
Right.
So to bring attention and awareness and to potentially help the problem.
Right.
Right. So
He was going to make a
Yes.
joke at this thing in Herrera fashion with his kind of dark humor
Yeah,
like
he
he
grew
has.
up on a military base.
Yeah,
Like
man,
his
he knows
buddies call him an honorary veteran as a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he said,
If it makes everyone in the room feel better, I often think about putting a gun in my mouth. So I'm basically an honorary veteran. Which I think is hilarious.
I thought it was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, I would have made the same joke.
When you sent that to me, I think my exact words in Slack were, "That's fucking hilarious."
That's fucking hilarious.
But damn, not a good look. Because I just saw it in the paper. I didn't have any context
Yeah.
around it. I was like, oh shit, they reported on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tony Gonzalez fucking took that out of context, had it put in the paper as like a smear campaign. But then my favorite part about this comes up. He got Twitter noted. So do you know what community notes are in Twitter?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're when hey, this is not actually
Yep.
this is not
This
accurate.
Is taken out of context,
taken out of context.
to
Yeah.
slander a political opponent. Herrera has not mocked, and in contrary, his podcast and his YouTube channel, he regularly lifts the subject as a problem.
Well, yeah. So what do you? And not to mention, you're in Herrera's battleground. You don't go to Twitter where the entire platform supports him and attempt to attack him with some things that most certainly aren't
gonna
true.
get
You're going to
dragged.
get ripped the fuck up, and it's going to look so much worse for you than if
so
you just left it alone in the first place. Like now, if there were people that like were like, I'm not going to vote either way, I don't really care. People that see stuff like that, like taking it out of context and leveraging veteran suicide against the opponent, by taking it out of context, they're going to probably go now vote against Tony Gonzalez. Nobody likes that shit. I don't think anybody likes that. It's taking a few words that we would say, let's say in this podcast, clipping it and then putting it up as a YouTube short.
Right.
Which you could do that with a lot of things we say and be like, oh my God.
I could ruin your whole career, dude.
Absolutely. I mean, you can imagine like if I was like, I would never just run around saying, I love right. But if you took that I love part and just clipped it, which now everybody's probably going to and be like, look, Jake's not fed about you. And then and clipped it, it would appear on the right platform that maybe I did. Right. And so anyway, I hate shit taking out of context, but that guy needs to,
He
rot.
needs to go.
He needs to go.
Dude,
he needs to rot.
He has been, what's great is not only did he get community noted, he got absolutely dragged in the comments.
Yeah.
So the ratio is hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw one positive comment for maybe one saying, how dare someone say that?
Yeah.
But then it was just completely filled with, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Well,
You just read this news headline on a Twitter post.
yeah, but not to mention, holy shit, dude. Like the newspaper, right? Like it doesn't surprise me that the fucking media twists things around and makes things as they shouldn't be.
Wow, the media would take things out of context.
Wow, the politicians have somebody writing for them in the media on the newspaper. Oh my God, there's connections between the media and politics. Go fucking figure.
Go fucking figure.
So there's that. On to the next one.
On to the next one.
Hawaii. Hawaii.
O-I-E.
What do we think?
Dude, it's the Aloha State, don't you know?
It's the Aloha
spirit.
So the Aloha, they need Aloha spirit, not the Second Amendment. Is that how it went?
I want to find...
What's the article?
Yes. There is an exact phrase that really gets me.
Because they're trying to ban just firearms in general.
They're trying to
Hawaii.
ban carrying
firearms
firearms in public.
Right.
We hold that in Hawaii, there is no state constitutional right to carry a firearm in public. The history of the Hawaii resident islands does not include a society where armed people move about in the community to possibly combat the deadly aims of others.
Okay.
You said the thing. No, you said the thing.
Say it.
To combat the deadly aims of others. So how are you supposed to fight it?
Yep.
Wait.
Now listen.
That was Justice Todd
I'm gonna get a little
political
spicy here, which is gonna
out of fashion.
and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go both ways. But do you think that possibly, maybe, if you were well armed, you may not have been annexed by the United States back in 1898 in the first place? Just a thought. First of all, so
there would be a whole lot less howlies there if you guys were well armed.
That's all I'm saying is, like, if everybody had guns over there and stood up and said, absolutely hell no, you're not going to come take the state. And
do you think they would consider them bugs too?
Probably. But it's a little, I think the way that it worked is like, it really kind of started in 1893, where from what I kind of read up on, the history of Hawaii, obviously they've got a long history dating back to like 900 or to 1100, right in there when they were occupied by Polynesians. And then at some point in time, they had a kingdom initiated. And I don't know what year this was, but they initiated the Kingdom of Hawaii. And there were like 25% of their population, I think, was Japanese workforce. And there was labor coming in from all these different Asian continents because there were, pineapples and sugarcane were like the main exports. And so they would come out and work the fields and do the damn thing. But apparently it was interesting what happened, because their percentage of the population just started decaying rapidly all the way up until 1893, which is really where we went in there and we had access to we basically took over all the sugarcane exports and resources and started kind of commandeering resources like America does. And
it was the start of American obesity.
Right.
Yeah.
And so but it was also a very strategic military location because we wanted Pearl Harbor because we wanted to be able to protect the West Coast. And that was a strategic place to do that. And the Supreme Court basically ruled that, this is, for the better, it's for the betterment of the United States because we could defend her, and let's go ahead and annex. So they did so in 1898. I believe they deposed the Queen in either 1893 or 1898, the Queen of Hawaii. I could be way off, but
doesn't
just
matter.
from what I can remember, this is kind of what happened. It was just kind of an interesting, go ahead and read up on it yourselves, because it's a fairly interesting fall of Hawaii. And it was just interesting to watch. So the Americans, we came over there and we were like, mine. This is mine now.
Mine. Yeah.
This is mine.
Mine.
And they didn't want it. They vehemently fought it. And even the Japanese fought it. They didn't want us there. You know what I mean? So they actually sent warships.
Tried twice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. But pre-Pearl Harbor, like back around 1898 when it was annexed, they were sending warships out there basically saying, don't do this. And we did it. And the only thing that I have to say about this, and I'm going to get spicy again, by taking a little bit of a I guess you could say, a devil's advocate approach. If Hawaii didn't have firearms in the first place, and you went over and said, mine, and then, so Hawaii was ran by American elites. Like, all the American elites were the ones that like owned the land, owned the crops, exported, made all the money off the things, right? And then we just decided we were going to take that and annex that as a state. So if we did so, and if that was the thing, and they didn't have guns there in the first place, not to mention they were nowhere near the, era of the Constitution being employed, should they be, it's just a question really, a spicy question, but should they be subject directly to all of our constitutional rights? If the people of Hawaii are deciding like, look, I don't know who's actually pulling the strings on, hey, we don't want guns here.
Right.
So this very well could be just all the American fucking senators over there. But if there are Hawaiian people that have banded together and say, listen, we're the locals of this island, we would prefer it if you did not carry fucking guns in our state. Just like if there were Indian reservations that are kind of sacred ground in the United States, and they said Native American, Jesus Christ, Native American, reservations that, create sacred ground, say, hey, we don't want guns on these reservations. Should we honor that? In my opinion, yeah, like just don't go on there with a gun. If they don't want you on there with a gun, don't go there with a gun, right? It was theirs kind of first anyway, if we're being fucking real. So all I'm saying is, can we be that mad that Hawaii doesn't want guns when they didn't have guns in the first place? And we went over there and we're like, hey, that's mine. Oh, by the way, you can have some guns.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait a second, hold on. Not only do we not have control of our state anymore, but now you want to put guns in our state. So I know I sound like probably not. I know what I'm saying is probably not what a lot of people want to hear, but I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate of like, how bad really is it?
Right. So what I think from my little view, right, my little bubble in my head, I think it comes back to what I said earlier, which is we should obviously value life.
Yeah.
But I think we value life a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Because every person has the right to self-defense.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
Every person has that right. And a firearm is the most efficient
Exactly.
way. And generally when a firearm is used, well, actually, most of the time when a firearm is used, it's not actually shot. But when a firearm is shot, on average, someone's going to die.
Let me get into my core opinion based on exactly what you said, which is I think that every human in every country, especially with, tyrannical governments, should have access to the same equipment that their government has so that they can overthrow that regime who is attempting to affect their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Correct.
So regardless of where you are, whether you're in fucking Hawaii or Russia, I think these individuals need to be able to arm themselves. Otherwise, you end up with these states that are just completely tyrannical. Having cleared that out, that is my opinion. I just asked the question, like, can we be that mad that they don't want it? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? It's just a question.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, believe me. I mean, they are they're a very vulnerable state. I would think that they would want not only guns, but the biggest and the best for every single citizen over there. It's a very vulnerable area to be in. Clearly. I mean, it was the first thing that was attacked in World War II.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like because it's so small, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, like sure, when you get there, it's fucking huge compared to your human body.
Right.
But like,
Okay.
as like a landmass,
Yeah.
it's itty bitty.
Right. Small.
It's a little guy.
Yep.
It's a little guy and a couple other little guys. So like maybe it's just that like idea of like, hey, we're so small, we don't fucking need this.
Yep.
We don't need this here. Like,
Yep.
maybe.
And if we're
Do you want a spicy take?
While we're annexing, why don't we just like annex other things?
Yeah.
Why don't we annex fucking Mexico and annex everything else?
Yeah, let's annex, dude.
Let's fucking annex.
Colonize.
Yeah.
Let's get back to colonizing.
Why don't we just start colonizing?
Dude,
you know
we
what I mean?
could.
Yeah.
So you want a spicy take about guns?
Yep.
So
This thing's giving me a headache.
yeah,
Take
it
it off.
looks tight on your head, dude.
God, it's very tight on my head.
So here's a spicy take. Little part of me, little
Piece in
little
there.
guy, little guy in there. It's kind of sit on my shoulder. What if, theoretically, what if we did get rid of all guns? So we could go back to the days of swords and I could be the next Genghis Khan. That's what I want, dude. That's what I want, internet. I want all the guns gone so I can be the next Genghis Khan.
Yeah, but then they'd want your swords gone.
No, dude, you can't.
Yeah.
Because then it's a martial battlefield. Fight me.
Yeah.
With a gun, anybody could take down anybody.
Yeah.
But when we're talking swords,
True.
good luck, dude.
I think.
Stack up.
Well, what about this take? Look, everybody's allowed to own guns, and if there's ever a battle between government and citizen, it has to go back to the traditional battle where we all line up.
Dude, in a field?
In a field.
Muzzle loaders?
Yeah. Or not even muzzleloaders, just with real guns. And then you just shoot at
I
each
like
other
how you call
until
them real guns. You're like, with real guns.
with real guns. And you just like shoot each other until you fall down. And then the next element comes up to replace them. And you kind of stand over the dead body as you shoot at each other again. And then whoever has more wins. And guess who has more?
Definitely the American
not
people.
the government. Yeah, so I'm just saying, that'd be kind of cool.
Dude, yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah.
Let's stand in a field and die.
I think we need to bring dueling back.
We
That'd be
do,
fun.
man. We do.
Yeah.
I think
Good old fashioned dueling.
that leads into another topic.
Like, why
perfectly
can't two
well.
dudes like get out and
Why
duel
can't two dudes just get out there and just get each other? You know?
and kill it? Yeah, why can't two just get out there and kill each other without the threat of manslaughter?
Because
afterwards?
we value human life too much.
Yeah.
Which we should value human life.
We do, yeah. But
we should.
But if
value
two consenting
sentient-
adults
Yes.
want to get out there,
Two 15-year-old males. No, but that I firmly believe in the depths of my soul that is the reason why we are in the place we're in society, is because we are no longer allowed to beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
We don't have the threat of violence that looms over. Because, like,
Yeah.
sure, you could get hit. You're going to get sued,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
right?
No one's going to come up to you and go, you've disrespected me. Take this gun and we're going to shoot at each other.
No.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
And what is
But if it could,
a well-armed society is a polite society.
yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
if I'm looking at you and I go, you've got a gun, maybe I shouldn't call your mother a whore.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. There was just immediate justice brought to anybody that disrespected you.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Yeah. I don't know. It's a thought. I never understood why it's just a very litigious society. So if we were able to come at each other and actually fight, if there was threat of violence, right? And we're allowing human nature to kind of take its course because it is innately
human nature is innately
violent. Yeah, I mean, we're innately violent. There's no doubt about that. I think we'd have a lot more. You want to be PC. That's the way to do it. You want political correctness. It's not canceling people.
Right.
It's just let them kick the shit out of each other, and maybe they'll shut the fuck up. So, yeah, I think about that all the time with this whole debate that I see online about, man, there's a civil war. Republicans versus Democrats, civil war. I first of all, I don't think that's necessarily going to be a thing, Republicans versus Democrats, but my God, if it was, that would be a very unfair fight. That would not be.
No, it's not. I'm trying to find this quote real quick.
I did hear something that was really interesting, and it was about how, there's just this balance, and it's almost good to have that, like, liberal and Republican, and because there's dark and there's light and there's good and there's bad, and for everything there's the opposite thing, and you kind of need that. Without that balance, things become disproportionately imbalanced.
Right.
And so it's just the yin to the yang thing. It's just this constant balance that keeps everybody, kind of toeing the line, I suppose, which is probably good for society in a sense. But
I think so.
Yeah.
I think well-managed violence, right?
yeah,
Well-managed violence is important.
like the purge.
Yeah.
Yeah, purging.
Yeah, just like every so often, there's no rules.
Would you
and
do-
everybody just kills each other. No, fuck no.
Would you do the purge?
No, fuck no.
Would you, if they said,
Well, maybe.
just real quick, like, let's think about it real
Maybe.
quick. If they
Give me a
allowed,
Megan's Law list? Yeah, maybe.
yeah,
Now we're talking.
if they allowed the purge once per year for 24 hours or whatever it was, would you vote for it first? Do you think you would say, yes, let's do this?
This is probably going to sound bad, but I don't vote. So I don't vote for masters, boys and girls.
Would you vote for the purge? Gun to your head, had a vote.
Gun to vote. Gun to head. Had to vote.
What do you think?
No, it's nuts.
Yeah,
It's fucking nuts,
It is
dude.
pretty fucking
You
crazy.
gotta be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a little part of me that's like, it
Interesting
sounds
concept.
cool as an idea. Like,
Yeah.
me and the boys could gear up and we could go and hit Megan's List or Law or whatever.
Yep.
And really just do some work.
Yeah.
But then I think about it and I'm like, what's portrayed in the films at least? I'm just like, that's
True.
like, because like, even if you look at it from the perspective of me and the boys are going to go out.
Yep.
Right? Or I'm going to go out. Just
Sure.
say solo. I'm going to go out and I'm going to rid the world of this evil.
Right.
It's kind of like, well, that's a little bit of a God complex. You
Right,
got there.
judge, jury, and
kind of makes
executioner.
you a little crazy.
Right. So from that standpoint, I would say, yeah, that would kind of be the collateral damage that would come out of purging. But my thought would be, can you imagine the turnover every year on politicians that were truly becoming a plague to society? Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about killing them. Like, because you don't have to go out and execute.
No.
But what you can do is just be like, look, we're going to take a bunch of these guys and the ones that are breaking the law, the ones that are literally
Actively
breaking
committing treason.
actively committing treason, and there's a ton of them
There's quite a few.
in our political offices right now. There are a ton of them actively committing treason, violating our Constitution, and absolutely do not, in their life, do some of them belong in the wood chipper? I think we can all agree. Yep. Yeah. But, just for the sake of being, what's the word? Civil, maybe.
PC.
You just,
PC principle.
You take them and just remove them and say, listen, you're not going to be around until, we're going to keep you over here until we replace you. And then you hold your own little elections during the purge and you have them replaced by the time the purge ends. Thoughts on that? You think that could be executed?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because the idea of the purge is you just let everybody commit crime for 24
Well,
hours.
yeah, that would be happening too. Yeah, but technically it's a crime to go in and, remove politicians from their,
Yeah, but they're locked up and they've got their fucking sentries and they're gonna shoot anybody coming in because all crime's legal.
Yeah.
So they're gonna gun you down.
Yeah.
You
Well, what's interesting is that crime is actually illegal and it still happens.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
Did you know murder is against the law?
Why don't we talk about what happened at Joel Osteen's church?
That sounds great.
Yeah.
But first, I have to pee.
Okay.
Wow, that was incredible.
That's the fastest pee ever.
Such a good pee I just had, dude. Kind of like that chick who was playing slots, just playing slots.
What?
You ever seen that video?
No.
Dude, I'll show you afterwards.
She peeing herself while she's
I'll
playing?
just show you right now.
Show me right now.
Yeah.
Show the viewers.
I will show the viewers.
This
so
is incredible.
there's going to
Really?
be like a quick snap break, and then you're going to be seeing it.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Commitment.
That is.
Do you know the scene from John Wick? He's a man of focus. Commitment.
That is
and
dead.
sheer
That's
fucking
fucking
will.
dedication.
That's
dude.
her, dude.
Yeah, I've seen the guys in ultra marathons like pissing and shitting themselves, but not a slot machine. I mean, there's a bathroom in every 30 feet in a fucking casino.
Dude, yeah. Just go to the bathroom. She's about to win though.
Yeah. God
And she
forbids.
knows every, what is it? I fucking forgot the statistic. Everybody who has almost won big
Yeah.
has quit right before they did.
Yeah. So what's interesting is the reason why casinos are so profitable outside of what everybody probably obviously knows
Because you can't see the sun.
so the CFO that we just hired, we hired him from Tacticon, hired him from a casino. He's a CFO for a casino, controller for a casino. And what he does, what he told me, because I was asking him all sorts of questions, just really interesting shit. I said, what are the odds to hit? And he said, well, depends on the state's regulations. But when you see these are the loosest slots, that means they give you probably an extra percentage point or something. But he said for every dollar we collect, we have to pay out $7.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the mandate for slot machines. For every dollar we collect, we pay out 7 cents.
Oh, 7 cents.
7 cents. Sorry.
per dollar.
Yes, 7 cents per dollar. I probably should have thrown the cents behind that.
Yeah.
For every dollar we collect, we pay out
I was
7.
like, this
You'd
seems
be
like
at
a very unprofitable business.
No, so for every dollar you collect, we have to pay out 7 cents. So it doesn't matter how that works out. It doesn't mean you have to pay out 7 cents on the dollar.
Right.
You could collect, $1 million and then pay out 70,000 of it, but 7 cents, 7%. So in whatever way, shape, or form you want to work that out, all these machines have algorithms built into them to do exactly that at different times and in different chunks. And that is exactly how it rolls. So you have a 7% chance of winning at any given time. It just depends on how big or how small you actually win. And obviously, as you win bigger, that percentage goes down well below 1% because that just ate up that machine's chunk of being able to pay out on that, profitability margin of 93%. So every single machine in that entire casino has, on average, at least in the ones that he's working in, has a 93% gross margin. 93% gross margin. That means in product terms, that means I could buy a product for $7 and sell it for $100, right? That is a 93% gross margin, which is fairly unheard of. There's not a whole lot of things that I can even think of ever that would yield that type of profitability. The only thing that you really find that has that type of profitability are really like information products, maybe, right? So you write a fucking ebook and everybody loves it and you're able to sell it for, $10, but it, it's the economies of scale thing is as you sell more, your cost of, the cost of goods actually deteriorate because it was just the time invested in the book.
Right.
But 93% gross margin. Like that is insane on every single fucking machine in the casino. And that is why they're so profitable. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, dude, I need one day.
We need to open up a casino.
I just need a slot machine.
Yeah.
A slot machine.
A slot machine.
Like,
Somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah, you crush it. Anyway,
That's crazy.
speaking of casinos, Joel Osteen's church.
My church.
Your church. Your church.
My church.
Your church.
My church, because I am Joel Osteen.
Because you are Joel Osteen. You're the tactical Joel Osteen, as they say on the internet.
Yeah, so there was a shooting at Joel Osteen's church carried out by, I forget her full name.
And I'm not calling all churches casinos, by the way. That was just a joke.
That was a Joel Osteen joke.
It was a Joel Osteen joke because that man
Has
is one of the wealthiest men.
97%.
That man,
93%.
that man has a 93% gross margin for sure. That dude is wealthy as fuck. If you haven't seen Joel Osteen's house yet, maybe you'll remember to put it in. Maybe you won't. But you just maybe hopefully screenshot his home, and it is next level. It's like if you took Jay-Z and Beyonce's home with Brad Pitt's home and maybe, somebody else's Hollywood famous home
God
and then
gave him that
combine
house.
them all together and then made a compound. It is insane.
I would remind you that God gave him that home. Okay?
That is just, it's a lot of money.
I need you to understand that.
Yeah.
God wanted him to have that.
I do. I understand.
So anyways, Joel Osteen's megachurch in Houston, Tejas.
Yes.
Shooter came in, brought her 7-year-old son.
Yep.
Her 7-year-old son started shooting and got gunned down by not one, but two off-duty police officers that were doing security at the church.
Interesting.
So the spirit of aloha, that is what armed citizens do against crazy people.
That's right.
So what's crazy is the more you read about it, obviously articles are still coming out and information is still getting released to the public. But from what I have read so far is that this lady, one, was, from what I've read, we'll find out later, I'm sure, but diagnosed schizophrenic,
Okay.
went under multiple different monikers, has a rap sheet hella long. Her ex-husband is a sex offender.
The guy she was married to.
The guy she was married to.
At the time of the shooting?
Ex-husband.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
Why does that play in effect? Because that shows that you're kind of crazy.
Yeah, you married a sex offender.
Yeah.
Right. And she had a 5-year-old son?
7-year-old son.
7-year-old son.
Yeah, who ended up getting hit. He's in
got
critical
shot.
condition.
Jesus.
It's
He got
unknown.
shot in the crossfire probably of,
Probably from the officer.
Damn.
Which sucks.
Yeah, but that's the
it's-
risk you put your fucking
yeah.
kid in when you walk in and try to kill.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there were no guns? Can you if there was nobody else in there to take her out, how many people would she have killed?
Dude. Probably a lot.
How many shots did she get off before she got shot?
I don't know. It hasn't said yet.
Yeah.
Because all that we know is that the son is critically injured and in critical condition, and there is one other service goer of the church who took a bullet to the hip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's fine.
Because hips don't lie.
Hips don't lie. His hips don't lie.
His hips
He's
don't
starting
lie.
to feel us right.
Yeah. So he actually got shot in the hip.
Yeah, he got shot in the hip.
He didn't think he got shot in the hip.
No acorns were found at the scene of the crime.
No acorns found.
So, anyways, they shoot this chick. She goes down, and apparently before lights out, she says that she has a fucking bomb. No bombs were found. But what's crazy, what's extra kooky about this, is apparently on the rifle that she had, there was anti-Semitic writing and Palestine written on it.
Ooh,
Which-
so a pro-Palestinian rifle?
So what's crazy is
You're in a Christian church?
you're in a Christian church. You're not in a Jewish, what is it, a synagogue?
Synagogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first you got your religions wrong.
Yeah.
Second,
Yeah. Was it an AR-15?
I believe so, yes. I believe that's what
it
it's
was.
saying.
It was a true assault rifle.
It was an assault rifle.
It was an assaulting rifle.
It was an assaulting
attempting
rifle.
to assault.
Too bad she didn't have a bump stock.
Yeah, she had,
I'm saying all the fucking buzzwords.
yeah, the buzzwords.
Do you have anything else to say on that?
The only
shit?
thing I had to say about that is that would have been absolute carnage for everybody in there should she not have been taken out by the two people who were actually armed.
Fucking
Because
heroes.
Here's the deal. The heroes that were actually armed to be able to stop that threat. Because when you create a gun-free zone and then there are no guns because the people who are abiding by the law don't carry guns into the place because they don't want to break the law, the crazy lady who's got an AR-15, she doesn't care about breaking the law.
She doesn't care.
Because she's already breaking the law. She's about to go in there and kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The schizophrenic chick
it doesn't work.
that thinks she's going into a synagogue?
God, I need to be able to, like, hopefully we become at some sort of scale or size one day that we can actually sit down with politicians and ask them these questions. So what are your thoughts about this? I found something out really interesting, actually.
Dude, they don't know. They just stop talking.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. That's what I've realized. So they just shut down. Like, you ask them a hard question, and they just go, this interview's over. Or they just don't know.
Damn.
So it's like our representatives just either A, don't fucking know, or B, refuse to answer.
Right.
And it's like, so then we get into the topic of guns. And if we took like AOC and we're like, hey, she's schizophrenic and not allowed to have guns. So how is more law going to help?
Yeah. She already wasn't allowed to have the thing.
Yeah, she
that
would
attempted
just
to kill
go,
people with.
I think this interview is over.
Of course.
And it's like,
you can't argue with that.
no, you can't.
You can't argue with that. You can't just throw a bunch of fucking laws at things and expect it to stick because the only people that are going to abide by the laws are like the real, the people that the people that follow the fucking laws.
The only people that follow laws are law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it becomes more dangerous for them to have to do so when those that don't care about the law get to do whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah. And it's terrifying to think that that's the direction that we're going as a country.
Well, it's one of the craziest things to me is there's a fucking stick figure picture that explains it perfectly. Like a 5-year-old could understand this because
Right.
it's so fucking simple. And you look at it, and I'll put it up on screen. I look at this and I go, surely there has to be like some sort of argument for this, right? I find it very hard to find an argument against it. So what it is it's the top photo is stick figure people, and the ones on the left are the citizens, and they have guns. It's like armed populace.
Yeah.
And then it shows the bad guys, the other stick figures over here. They're
Yeah.
labeled bad guys,
Right.
criminals. They also have guns, but they have frowny faces because these guys have guns. What are
Yeah.
they going to do?
Right.
You're going to fucking bloodshed?
Right.
That sounds dumb.
Okay.
But then it's another one with the good guys without guns in their hands.
Yes.
But then the bad guys are like pointing the guns at their hands.
Right. So it's a very simple.
just like-
yeah. Just very
Like that's like so simple to understand.
Yeah. That's
So
all.
simple.
That's what they should present when they're debating in, halls of Congress about
Well,
this thing. They
it's-
should just be like, let's just take a look at this real quick. And does everybody understand this image? Okay, so what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I explained it living in Hollywood for as long as I did. I've had quite a few discussions and arguments with people about firearms, right? Because
Naturally,
it's
yeah, 'cause-
very, very leftist, blue, liberal down there.
Yep.
Democratic.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just, Or they would call it progressive.
Progressive.
Go ahead.
There we go.
Yeah.
Regressive.
Regressive, yeah.
But so I carried a firearm down there, as one would.
Yep.
They would, judge. And so I would always get into this debate with them. And I would have my gun, set it on the table. And I'd say, you don't like me having that? No. I go, okay, play with me here. Play a game with me, Ray.
Play a game with me.
I said, if I gave this to you and I got up and I was going to beat you to death, I go, I guarantee you would use that gun.
Yeah.
And every time they went, no, I wouldn't. And I would shoot up and they would reach for it. I'm just like,
See? Did you, I think I showed you Tommy Chong's interview with Joe Rogan.
God.
Yeah.
Let's break into that.
Yeah, that was funny.
So I'm going to play it right now.
If you have a gun, you're not very intelligent.
Why's that?
Because you're paranoid.
Wait a minute. If you have a gun, you're not intelligent because you're paranoid?
Having a gun means that you're afraid that someone's going to come and attack you. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so that having a gun is like they want to arm teachers, for instance.
That seems kind of crazy.
That is so stupid.
Yeah.
It is so dumb.
Right.
And just like the ones that know about guns, like the cops that didn't go into the school, they knew the guy's got a AK. They're not going to go into that school with their little pistols. And so they didn't go into the school. And the ones that rushed the guy, they ended up dying. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is that if you have a gun and if you think you need a gun for your house, for whatever, if you think you have something that's worth someone else's life, then you are ignorant.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's what they think. They don't think that the gun is worth someone else's life. They think they don't want to get their life taken by a home invasion.
Yeah.
Which does happen.
Did you?
Dude.
Okay, now that you saw that,
Oh, my God.
he said, people that own guns are just not intelligent. And he was like, really? He said, yeah, they're ignorant. And Joe Rogan says, well, we just watched it, obviously. But,
Yeah.
Why? And the purpose was, and I think, Joe Rogan had it right. He was clearly questioning what was going on here. But he said, I'm not agreeing with what Tommy Chong said, but what he was trying to say, that he just fucking agreed with Joe Rogan, even what Joe Rogan tried to kind of reword what he was saying and it was incorrect. Tommy Chong was saying, do you think that your possessions are more important than a human life? Basically, if somebody comes in to take your shit, just give it to them. Nobody needs to die over it, right? And then Joe Rogan responded with, wait, you mean that when somebody comes in, not your gun, the tool that you're going to be using essentially is less important than that person's life. Do you see where I'm going with this? So I think he equated the gun to the thing, and where Tommy Tong was talking about the personal belongings. I'm not agreeing with it, but in that statement that you probably just saw, that's really what was happening. Then he goes, yeah, just give him your shit. And, it shows, I think from what I can remember off the top of my head, because we just didn't watch it, he's like, yeah, but that's not the way it works. People don't just come into your house to only take your shit.
Yeah.
If it was an absolute guarantee that they were going to break into your home just to steal some jewelry,
I'd still kill him.
let's do that. But let's just create this crazy hypothetical that is the only reason anybody is going to come into your house is just to take your
shit.
jewelry or your shit.
Yeah.
Then at least there's a starting point maybe for a debate.
Maybe.
I'm not simping here.
If it was,
I'm looking at it from the other side.
Universal law.
Yeah.
Like there was no question.
No question.
People couldn't even do anything else. It was just that was it. That's all you could do.
Yeah. You got a chip inside you and you can't kill the guy that's
you're
in the
like
house.
a robot, pre-programmed. Yeah.
If there was a way, then you could start a conversation with that. But it was just so, it was so disconnected that the fact that what we saw in that clip is that people, especially people in Hollywood that are pushing for this legislation and pushing these politicians to get into office and funding these campaigns, they're so disconnected with the actual reality of the way that life works that he would think so privileged to think for a second that the only reason anybody is going to come into your home is to take your shit, and taking it to the next level that even if they were, we are allowed to defend our fucking property as much as we are allowed to defend our lives. You can't walk into somebody's home and take their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are, and that comes with privilege as well, right? Like, well, if they come and take my shit, I'll just buy more shit. Yeah. But that's not the way it worked for centuries and centuries.
We used to kill people who took horses, bro.
Yeah.
We used to hang those guys.
Absolutely.
Horse
Because
thief, you're going to die.
the thing that you acquired, it may have taken when resources were incredibly limited and we didn't have this proliferation of just being able to go into a Target and buy the next thing. You may have had generational, I will put quotes around this, wealth.
Right.
Where the things that you had were the things that came before you and before you and before you, these things that were acquired familially, right? That were very precious to you. And we've just lost that connection. We could just go buy another one, man. It's not worth it. No. Like, you try to carjack me, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face. Period. You can't, you're not allowed to take my shit.
No.
Because I don't, but the problem is that we actually have to disguise that under the law of I was fearing for my life that he was trying to take my vehicle.
Well,
Because you have to justify that.
Right.
But I don't even think you should fucking have to. He shouldn't be allowed to take your car.
No.
And you should be able to stop
Horse
him
thief.
with a firearm if he's taking your vehicle. Period.
I completely
And then
agree.
I think that if everybody just didn't have the threat of the judicial system falling onto their shoulders every time they pulled a gun out when somebody was trying to steal their car and pull them out of it, and they shot them, then I don't know, maybe people would steal a lot less cars. And I'm sure there are states where that happens a lot less frequently, like Texas, where everybody's got a fucking gun in their center console.
dude, I'm just saying. First off, for life advice, don't listen to an 80-year-old stoner.
Let's start there.
Let's start there. Especially one that looks like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but one, it's privileged. Two, I'd be curious to what he would say to me if I said, yeah, for sure, man. So I'm going to come over to your house and take your shit later.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what he said.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. Well, too bad. I'm going to break into your house and
I'm
steal
going
your
to
shit.
walk in and I'm going to take your stuff.
So do you think he would call the police?
Oh, for sure.
So he would call someone with a gun.
Yes. To stop the guy.
Because, and now I'm assuming, but this has been the rhetoric, it's because the police are trained and qualified, but as we just saw, Acorns ruined that training real fucking fast.
The police will come.
And they couldn't even shoot a guy in a car.
Yeah. Yeah. The police will come and remove you from the situation and probably won't shoot you if you are unarmed just taking somebody's stuff, unless an acorn falls out of the sky.
If the acorn falls, you better be concerned.
If the acorn falls, then all bets are off.
All bets are off. Do you know the Key and Peele skit where he's like sweating profusely?
I think so. Hold on. Go. Like, tell me about it.
So there was a meme that was like, so do you have any weapons on you, sir? And it's that meme of him sweating. It's like me with 3 acorns in my pocket.
Please don't search my pockets.
Please don't search my pockets.
God forbid one fell to the ground.
But, continuing to expound upon that.
Yeah. That's it right there.
It's not that
Yeah.
it's not that I value my stuff more than your life.
Yeah.
I do. I don't know you.
You're putting less value on your own life than you are on my stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're taking that risk.
You are coming into my home. You are potentially going to hurt me, my loved ones. Who knows? I can't take that risk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that risk.
You ever see that video where those 3 dudes break into this house? Like, it's like the middle of the night, people are sleeping, and they go in, and like the female of the house comes out. She must have had like a male roommate, but the female comes out and just starts throwing rounds at these dudes.
Just starts
and shoots them. And I think she killed a couple of them.
Yeah.
Like, shot all of them, killed a couple of them. One dude died in the driveway. And as it was happening, like, I think the guy came out and was like, huh, and then ran away.
Yeah. He comes out, he's like, oh, and like runs back into his room.
God.
Yeah.
but-
That's the society of men that we're breeding without the threat of violence. Dudes who just run back
But
into
the
their
chick
room.
was a fucking gangster.
Yeah,
Just came
dude,
out and started
absolutely
lighting the
savage.
dudes up.
Well, the thing is, like we were talking about horse thieves, right? That was a person's livelihood.
Yeah.
Now, again, like you said, there are a lot of things that we can replace, but like we'll take it straight to vehicles. People who steal cars. You steal my car, that's my livelihood.
Yeah.
Like I can't just go buy another car tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you don't have fucking, comprehensive insurance and, your car got stolen,
Yeah.
then it's just stolen.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah. You just got
Absolutely
liability only or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're done. Yeah.
fucked. Yeah. It's
But, with that, I don't know. Did you have anything else to talk
do.
about on this? You did. Okay.
I do.
Yeah. Pull it
a
out.
little piece of my soul has died.
Why?
We're gonna get a little dark. So
I like it.
I just recently watched, and I know, don't harp on me, but I just recently watched The Sound of Freedom. For those of you who have not seen The Sound of Freedom, go watch it.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that you go watch it. I hate to call it a good film.
Yeah. It was.
It was a well-made film.
I can't believe you just watched this
Dude,
thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I was very busy during the timeline of it coming out.
Right.
There was a lot going on.
I'm not judging you.
Yeah. I just said don't judge me.
Yeah.
But a little piece of my soul died watching that film after I finished watching it. And for those of you who don't know what this movie is about, it is about child trafficking.
Right.
It is,
But wasn't there some controversy around this? Did you see it?
dude, I did see the
The
controversy.
controversy around the actual film itself.
Yes.
Okay.
About how news media outlets were trying to downplay the film as a QAnon right wing. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Like a fucking
got
bait
you.
film or whatever.
Yeah, bait film. Like hyperbole.
Yeah,
And,
well, just like it's there. Like
it's fine.
I blacked out.
Tell me what
Anyways,
you want to tell me about Sound of Freedom.
I came to a very fucked realization.
Yeah.
And this also plays in with what I witnessed and saw down at the Texas border, talking to Yoan.
Yeah.
He worked for DHS, Department of Homeland Security. They ended up pulling his funding, right?
Right.
They ended up saying, we can't do this anymore. You need to come back. And then like watching it all break down in the end of the film, and I came to the realization that the fact that JSOC,
Yeah.
that their entire goal is not to completely rid the world of child sex trafficking,
Yeah.
and that is not at the top of every politician's running campaign.
Yeah. It's not. They're
It
not
tells me everything I need to know about the U.S. government.
yeah. They're not classified as terrorists.
No.
How's that not a terrorist? How are you not terrorizing the next generation of human beings into something, the most tragic thing you could do, which is put them into sex slavery? It's
And the fact
it
that
is
it's
such
a growing business
Yeah.
is the worst. It was a kick in the soul,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, there was the type of controversy that I was talking about, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was, because as that movie came and it was like impactful watching it, I saw some things around it, but it wasn't that. It was the other. It was going the other direction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where I'd have to look it up. Where it wasn't like this. This wasn't true. It was not. It's not that it wasn't true, because we all know sex trafficking is true. But there was something.
Oh, I saw that where they were trying to discredit what he
Yeah.
had actually done.
Exactly.
And they were trying to say that it wasn't real.
That it
Yeah.
wasn't real.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
saw
thing.
that.
And so when I saw that, I didn't dig any deeper, but I was like highly moved when I saw it. And then I saw these reports that like, hey, this is not real. And
Except
then
it's all accounted and there's documentation.
and I actually,
for it.
but the thing is I saw it from even a right-wing perspective, from right-wing sources on social media that were discrediting all of this. And I'm
I
like,
know
why?
Fox News tried to discredit the film.
I know. And I was like, what is the purpose of that? Why
Because
would you
they're-
try to discredit it? Even if you could discredit it, like we know it's a problem, just let it fucking ride and let everybody think it's a fucking problem, because it is a fucking problem. We
I
know
don't
it.
even care. Like, I have
Even
to be
if it was-
careful with how I phrase this.
Yeah.
But even if child sex trafficking was not a problem, we need to believe that it's a problem so it never happens.
Of course. Yeah. I think it's important enough for it to be always a conversation and a topic on the table. And it's, and I think that's why the immigration topic in general in politics should be, I think that's where they should lead the conversation for the most part, because the conversation with, and that's why the whole two wings of the same bird, and watching, these hardcore, these dudes that are just real right wing talk about oh, you can't let them in here because then they're just going to commit crimes and take the jobs. And, there are people who genuinely think like that. Yeah. And I'm not talking about it, and everybody in the Republican Party thinks like that, but I'm saying there's a large percentage of people who have the lack of information, that are uneducated, that genuinely think that, Mexicans coming across our border, they're going to take our jobs and they're going to just commit crime. And that's being pushed by politicians. I mean, I dare to say it, because there's probably some hardcore fucking people, Trump dudes in the fucking room right now with us, that Trump pushed that same agenda, that they're committing crimes. They're coming over here and they're raping people. And while that is in fact true, that they do, some of them do come over here and commit crimes. Yeah. Some of them do come over here and murder people. This is not the core of the problem. Right. We need to start talking about the real fucking issue that lines up with immigration. Immigration is not they're going to take my jobs problem. Immigration is not they're going to dilute, whatever financial resources we have problem. This is the least of our fucking worries. The least of our worries is these guys crossing over as seemingly good human beings and then becoming criminals once they're here, because we've got plenty of those people that were raised not criminals, and then at some point in time in their life, they decide, I'm going to go commit some fucking crimes, even as Americans.
Look at how many people we have here.
That's what I'm saying.
That are fucking horrible people.
That's what I'm saying. That's the least of our fucking worries. The most of our worries is what things and what people from what countries with what agendas are coming over here to completely dismantle the structure that we have built for freedom and take it all away and create their little cells throughout the United States, and then one day band together and attack us.
Right.
That's it. So, and the sex trafficking thing. I mean, these are the abhorrent things that we see happening from immigration that need to be at the forefront of the conversation when it comes to the borders being open, including the number one killer, like you guys have talked about in the other podcast, the number one killer, which is fentanyl. And this stuff is swimming across the fucking border in droves, and people are dying. There were like 4 people. My wife and I took the kids up to Tahoe, and we came back, and like while we were in Tahoe, there were some people that had rented a house. I think there were 4 of them, and all 4 of them fucking died.
Yeah, let me guess. They were partying, they did some coke, and they all died.
Yeah.
That shit has happened like 5 or 6 times in my hometown.
Dude.
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, but can you imagine the backlash of an AR-15 if on every single occasion, imagine this just for a second, that every time a group in a house of people died because they OD'd on something that they didn't even realize fentanyl was in, if that was transitioned, if that didn't actually happen, if it was actually the AR-15, if somebody walked into a house and just shot everybody in the fucking house, that would be national news. Everybody would be talking about it. We got to pull the guns out of everybody's hands. Nobody's allowed to have them. People are just walking into people's homes and killing them all. But this is exactly what's happening with fentanyl.
Except for the fact that the U.S. government is directly involved in that trade.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's directly involved in the trade.
That's why I'm saying it tells me everything I fucking need to know that JSOC, that their entire sole mission in life. I'm not saying JSOC. It's not them. It's the people.
Their fault.
It's people pulling the strings.
They need to be involved in stopping that, because that is the number one threat. If you want to stop,
I'm sure JSOC would love nothing more than to get involved and completely wreck that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like any dude in the military looking to honor the Constitution and do what they swore to do in their oath to the Constitution, preserving life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, is going to want to stop the sex trafficking. They're going to want to stop terrorists from getting across their borders and organizing cells to where they can kill American people. And they are going to definitely want to stop the trade of fentanyl, which is the number one killer in the United States right now, maybe second only to heart disease. So, and I think it may have surpassed that.
It's getting close, dude.
Yeah, and it is such a fucking crisis that how is that not on the tip of the tongue in every immigration debate? But instead, we've got leadership, men who are running for president that are standing up and saying they're going to come over here and commit crime. That is not the fucking problem,
dude. No,
and it is a problem, but the main problem is the fact that we are allowing the borders to be open so they can bring whatever the fuck they want over here, and we can't control it or contain it.
Right. I think Tackett put it really well when he said the migrants from the Mexico side are building suburbia. They're not taking your jobs. They're working in fucking dairy farms. They're picking they're picking fruits and berries, and they're working construction jobs.
And oftentimes, depending on where they're coming for, depending on the drive, especially as first generation Americans, that it's always that generation that is really working the hard, laborious jobs. They're pushing brooms at 2 different fucking jobs, trying to keep their family fed, making sure their children are educated. And what they're popping out is a first generation American born into the United States that often goes through and absolutely fucking slays any natural born American with naturally born American parents that are out there doing the thing.
That's what American is.
How many Iranians do you know that are fucking just
Crushing it.
crushing it?
Crushing it.
Like a lot of them go into like real
So
estate. You know what I mean?
Do
And
you
they're
know
just
how many?
they're
Do you
making.
know how many have G-Wagons right now? All of them. All of them have G-Wagons.
I've yet to meet an Iranian without a
Without a
fucking G-Wagon.
G-Wagon.
Yeah, they're because they can see the value of when you're coming from a place, especially when your parents are showing you consistently, like, look, this is the place that we were. These are the things we weren't allowed to do. These are the things you are allowed to do here. When you know what you can't have, and you're incredibly familiar with it, and you've been entrenched in an environment, even on a deployment as a soldier, and you've seen the way the rest of the world lives, it makes it very difficult. I can attribute the drive that I have as an entrepreneur. I truly feel this way, that I've always kind of had it even when I was a kid. I wanted to mow lawns and make money, but I think that pilot light really got fueled when I went overseas and I saw the lack of opportunity over there. I'm like, I am squandering my life in the United States if I don't take advantage of the fact that I can just pick up my phone and start a fucking business. I mean, you could do whatever when you build buildings. I mean, you put your mind to something, you could fucking perform heart surgery. And
America really is the land of opportunity.
There are ways to get there. There are plenty of ways to get in any position. You may not make it to the level of a fucking heart surgeon, but you could be a fucking doctor, because I met some pretty shitty ones and they're not too bright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could get to where you need to go, or at least almost there, and be highly successful with just a little bit of effort, as long as you don't fucking quit.
I'm going to tell you something right now, dude. If I was in that position, if I was a Mexican citizen, and the cartel was running rampant, absolutely destroying communities, and I said, I have heard America is the land of opportunity and I can get anything done there that I want as long as I work hard, I'm going to hop that fucking border.
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude.
Don't fucking...
Yeah, and so like...
You can't blame them.
Can't blame them. So like, what is it? Like, how many millions have crossed now?
Oh.
A lot?
Yeah.
There's going to be some bad fucking apples. It's what happens.
What was the fucking number? Was it 8?
I think it's
Or
close.
was it like 40? It was something.
I think it's close to 8.
I think
40 is a little high.
I think it's like 8 million
Yeah. I think
in the very recent past.
I just saw something that it said more migrants have crossed the border than like a fair amount of states.
You're talking
the
about
population
just
of
the
states.
population of certain states, yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, what's crazy is if with the chaos that's going on, it feels like a lot of people don't like the idea of America being a melting pot anymore. But that's where again, bad people are going to exist regardless of whether they are of any national descent, any ethnicity.
Yeah.
No matter where they come from, bad people are going to exist.
Yep.
And what you got to look at is a well-armed population is a polite population.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're all allowed to be armed,
Right.
and these bad people are coming across,
Right.
well, it doesn't matter.
If the same party affiliation that's allowing a bunch of who knows what kind of people they are, potentially like actually hardened terrorists, to come into the United States, if you're going to allow that and let them be here, then at least understand that we need to be able to protect ourselves from the threat that you are very obviously allowing to freely cross that border.
Now, I want to be clear. I'm not advocating for illegal border crossing. I don't want that to be what people take away.
You got to go through the protocol,
go
man.
through the fucking proper
It's
channel.
it's a slap in the fucking face to all those who actually went through the proper channels to get here
is.
the right way.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
No.
They fucking hate it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they make it very clear. Yeah, like, why did I have to fucking do that and you didn't?
Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah, I got me all fired up,
dude, ever since I watched that film, which was only one night ago,
Yeah.
Really, it gave me a kick in the jimmies.
Yep.
But go watch that film, and then you'll feel as fiery as I do. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
Yep.
But
I don't have.
It's not all doom and gloom.
It's not all doom and gloom.
Life is good.
Good things are coming in the future.
Sun is bright.
Like I said, if you're still listening to this, man, get out there and join us on March 2nd and 3rd for the grand opening out here in Rancho Cambodia, up here in Northern California. We'd love to see you. Pop in and, grab a glass of whiskey, shoot some shit in the airsoft range, get yourself a haircut.
I want to end it with this because that was a little doom and gloom.
Okay.
That was a little dark.
Get some positivity
Yeah, I
flowing.
want to get some positivity flowing, right?
Yep.
It is the smallest percentage, and it is the most niche and really magnified situations that we see in the news. We see all these devastating things. We see all these tragedies. We see life's good, guys. Like, don't get me wrong, taxes are still fucked.
Yeah,
Our economy is still down
We
the
got a lot
drain.
of shit to complain about, but you're right. Yeah, we're doing pretty good around here.
On average, how many days go by without you encountering a murderer or a rapist or,
Wondering where your next meal is at.
Yeah.
We
We got roofs over our head. We've got the internet.
You ever turn on water and just think to yourself, man, I've got
clean water.
I've got clean running water in this place. Yeah.
A lot of you curl up with your loved ones at night.
Dude,
you got a dog.
Without the imminent threat of somebody coming into your house.
Without the imminent threat of cartel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful time to be alive in a sense. I mean, if you could pull the beauty out of any situation.
You can
really.
get gangrene and still survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a whole lot of stuff. You can get like fucking full blown AIDS, like clearly I have right now, and still be alive.
Obviously, and still be alive.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good time to live. So, gratitude is a very important thing to have, being able to appreciate the things that we do have. And sometimes when you turn your fucking faucet on and just understand that a lot of people don't have that. You turn the lights on in your house and a lot of people don't have that. We are the few. Most of the world doesn't live like that. If you're talking about from a population, now if you're talking about from a geographic, area, landmass thing, yeah, maybe most of the world does because most of the world's developed, but there is a huge chunk of populations in underdeveloped countries which continue to rapidly procreate.
Dude, still in the United States.
You're
Flint,
talking about
Michigan doesn't have water.
Even India. Yeah, I know. So, I mean, you're talking about places like India where they just don't know where the next meal is coming from. They don't know how they're going to heal the sick member of their family. We have a very, very beautiful life comparatively to the rest of the world. And I think with appreciating it, but not to the point of coming complacent. We have to understand that this can go away just as fast as we've acquired it because we're a very young institution here, and I just, I definitely don't take it sometimes I take it for granted. Find myself yelling at a fucking red light or something. God damn, it's a red light.
Dude, road rage.
I'm in a car.
Yeah, I'm in a
and
car.
There are stoplights.
I don't have to walk to my job.
It's a pretty fucking amazing time to be alive. So yeah, that is a very positive point to make, that while we should be aware and not get complacent about the potential threat that we have, to our freedoms, we should also take a minute to, just be grateful and
smell the roses.
Yep. Understand that we're in a pretty good position so far as I can see.
Yeah. We're all going to make it, boys.
Yep.
We're all going to make it.
And we're going to make it together.
That's right.
And with that,
we bid thee.
Ackwave.